HARKLES brand is toast. Experts are slamming the Duke and Duchess of hypocrisy, comparing them to C-list ex-reality TV contestants after so many stunts. Hello everyone, welcome back to the King YouTube channel. Ever since they left the royal family in a huff back in 2020, Meghan and Harry have tried and failed at many different things, many different ways to get money and fame and attention for themselves. So first of all, of course, we had the Oprah Winfrey interview, which was a huge disaster. It did get them a lot of attention, sure, but it also ruined their credibility because of all the lies they told. At first, Meghan and Harry's futures in America looked pretty bright. I mean, they managed to ink all these lucrative deals with the likes of Spotify and Netflix and Penguin Random House. These companies were so excited to land the two of them, they thought they were going to be roaring successes. Well, it turns out they have been anything but. And now, the go-up PR expert, Edward Coram James, has commented on Harry and Meghan choosing to adopt a Captain Chaos brand persona. He is considering it puzzling. He said they had gone from being treated like the hybrid of Hollywood royalty and actual royalty that they are to being treated like tabloid fodder. Speaking with Express, the expert said, the SUSSEX brand has very little currency left in it. Brands that go for a wrecking ball approach to getting fame rarely end up retaining it. That has been the thing that has surprised me and many others within my space so much about the Sussexes. The Sussexes are senior British royals. Every PR strategy known to man was available to them, and they could easily have established themselves as diligent, serious filmmakers who would have seamlessly rubbed shoulders with kings, A-list actors, and presidents alike. Instead, he went on to say, the strategy that they chose to remain relevant is one more akin to a C-list ex-reality TV contestant who may feel that the only way to remain within the public eye is to constantly generate scandal-related headlines. Well, he may be puzzled by this approach, but honestly, folks, I'm not puzzled whatsoever. I know where this is coming from. This is all Meghan. Meghan doesn't know how to be an A-lister because she's not an A-lister. She only knows how to act like a C-list reality TV star because that's basically what she is. Meghan was never successful in Hollywood. I don't care what she tried to tell Harry. Somehow she managed to convince him that she was some big movie star, but she wasn't. She was a bit part actress. Yeah, she found a little bit of success on Suits, but still, she was no star. And even when Meghan was on Suits when she was living in Canada, it's not like paparazzi were waiting to take her picture. In fact, she would call them up, she would let them know where she was going to be, and she would hope that they would show up. Well, today she still does that. She's still got Batgrit's number. That explains all the parking lot photos. I mean, Meghan is still desperate for fame and attention. That is something that's never going to change. Because even though she married a prince, even though they did have a promising future at one point, soon enough people realized what she was like, and she's a toxic person. The PR expert goes on to say the strategy didn't align with their status. He said they punched down instead of punching in their own weight class. And when you punch down, you usually demote yourself. As such, the Sussexes have gone from being treated like, well, the hybrid of Hollywood royalty and actual royalty that they are to being treated like tabloid fodder. You see, one of the biggest problems, though, about Meghan and Harry is that they're not content creators. They're not creative people. They have no talent. They have no skills. All they had in the beginning was dirt on the royal family, and now they don't even have that. The only thing they have to sell that people are interested in are their complaints about the British press and about the royal family. And see, that's not a good long-term strategy. Eventually, people are going to get tired of all that negativity. Coram James addresses this topic, though. He says, I think that the Sussexes have felt that they have a genuine bone to pick, both with the British press as well as with their respective families. And despite what their greatest online detractors might wish to have people believe, there's no reason to doubt that their gripe, at least in part, isn't real and fair. There are two sides to many stories, and it's perfectly plausible that, whereas some of their claims may have been greatly inflated, others have not. Well, sure, even I will hand them that. I mean, especially when it comes to the British press. Has Harry been legitimately traumatized in his lifetime by photographers? Absolutely. I mean, when Harry was only a little boy, photographers were relentless, trying to get photos of himself and his brother and his mother. I do understand that with Harry, and I do sympathize a little bit. Now, these days he's doing way too much to try to get the photographers to pay attention to him. But anyway, setting that aside, I do believe that Harry has some level of PTSD, especially surrounding the tragic death of his mother. I mean, remember in the docuseries, for example, when they were driving somewhere, and Meghan intentionally got Harry all riled up, all anxious by telling him there was some paparazzo following them. Now, of course, even in the docuseries, we didn't see anyone, but that's the kind of thing that she does to him. She knows how to push his buttons. What she does not know how to do, though, is endear herself to the public. And Coram James basically says the same. He says, but reasonable or not, as their reasons might be, the Sussex's response has been wholly unadvisable. Well, yeah, sure, but see, we need to remember, Meghan Markle does not take advice. Meghan believes that she knows best in literally every situation. She's not going to listen to anybody. Look, considering that Meghan has had some of the best PR agencies working with her, I'm sure they gave her better advice than what she's done. I think that this is all coming from her, and I think that's why she goes through these agencies so quickly. I think that's why Sunshine Sachs had to drop her. I mean, she didn't pay the bills, of course, that was one big problem, but I'm sure that Sunshine Sachs was also feeling very frustrated because they were trying to help Meghan rehab her image and she just wouldn't take their advice. Harry and Meghan also continue to be so jealous of William and Catherine, partly because they are adored by the press and the public. But there's a good reason that people love them. They're a positive influence in our lives. We want people to look up to. We want people who inspire us. We don't want a couple of whiners like Harry and Meghan in our faces all the time. Coram James says that if Harry and Meghan had just followed Prince William and Princess Catherine's example, they could have had a PR persona the likes of which most would sever a limb for. He explained that they chose this Captain Chaos brand persona is completely puzzling. In the doing, it has made Meghan look like she doesn't respect, and indeed openly ridicules the deeply and sincerely held cultural traditions of millions of Brits. Mr. Coram James went on to say, and to inflame sentiments when those Brits have become visibly upset by the apparent cultural insults, instead of showing the humility, gentleness, and skillful communications that would be advised in such an instance of crisis communications, she has doubled down and accused those that she has just upset of politically charged crimes such as misogyny and racism. He went on to say, it's appeared insensitive at best and deeply arrogant and self-aggrandizing at worst. Again, and to be clear, that is not to say that she may not have many valid points, and it's also not to say that in real life she may not be truly wonderful. Sometimes the only way to short-circuit a negative brand image is to break up the brand and start anew. Of course, in this case, the brand is their marriage. And we should all hope that their marriage stays strong. Love them or hate them, and whether or not you believe that they have been the masters of their own undoing, or the victims of a salacious press campaign, they are human beings. And this last year will have been hell for them. They've been attacked from every corner and in every way imaginable, in a manner that most would struggle to bear. That their marriage has survived to date is remarkable, and shows the strength in it. Well, okay, Mr. Coram James is right in that they are technically human beings. However, they are certainly the masters of their own demise. This is all their fault. They have no one to blame for this except for themselves. And as for the state of their marriage, I'm not convinced that it's strong right now. I think it's on really shaky ground. There have been so many reports that the two of them are not even living together anymore. And if they are living together, if they really are still together, imagine what a hell that relationship has become. Meghan is a malignant narcissist. Meghan doesn't know how to love another person. She doesn't know how to truly care about anyone except for herself. She's not capable of feelings like compassion or empathy. So if they really and truly are still together, imagine the hell that Harry is living in right now. We've also still got Meghan trying to establish herself as a separate brand from Harry. So honestly, I think it's only a matter of time before we're going to hear that this brand has completely fallen apart. And you, what do you think about this news? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to like and share with anybody else who would enjoy it too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.